Dear friends, dear Naples community, dear Chabad Naples Mishpacha, it's hard to believe that we are in the third week of quarantine. We're now hearing that it may need to be this way for another month and perhaps even further than that. We are all thinking and wondering what will be next week, next month, next year. There's so much uncertainty. So firstly, I want to say we are here to help. Though the world may be increasingly shutting down, at Chabad of Naples, our lines of communication, our phone lines are open and our resources available to anyone in need. Over the next few days, we will be delivering handmade shmura matzah, called in Kabbalah the bread of faith and the bread of healing, to the entire community, to let everyone know that we're thinking of you and we're in this together. This special project was sponsored by Chuck and Michelle Cohen. Thank you. May you and your family have gesund, good health, nachas, and simchas. If you know anyone that needs a Seder kit to go, if you know anyone that needs help now or for Passover, please reach out to our office at Chabad of Naples. We're here to serve you. And now for the part you've been waiting for, I hope, the positive and uplifting message. And I'll begin with a joke, an anecdote. A man once quipped and said, when we were engaged, I did all the talking and she did all the listening. When we were married, she began to do all the talking and I did all the listening. And now, 10 years later, we both do all the talking and the neighbors do all the listening. My dear friends, we celebrate Passover in just 1 week. This Passover, 2020, will be very different than many other Passovers. Manishtana, halayla azeh mikol haleilos. We know why this Passover will be very different than all the other Passovers. Many homes, the entire family will be doing the talking and the neighbors will be doing the listening. In some homes, unfortunately, there will only be listening because many will be at home alone. And so, I want to share with you a message that hopefully will resonate and give us some strength, give us some guidance, give us some spirit as we enter this Passover 2020. One of the central themes of Pesach and the Seder night is breaking free from our personal freedom. You know, we read and discuss how Egypt isn't just a geographical location. It's a mindset, it's a perspective, it's an attitude. You know, we all have our self-imposed Egypts. We have our fears, insecurities, shame, guilt. And then we have, sometimes, externally imposed Egypts. For example, as we find ourselves now confined to our homes due to the virus. And our task on Pesach is to break free of our physical constraints, of our challenges and our difficulty. And the obvious question is, how are we able to break free from this physical challenge that we're in? We need to stay at home to save ourselves from harm, to save others, our community, our fellow citizens from harm. We need to be at home. How are we able to break free this Passover and experience freedom in our own lives? The answer is that although we can't control our circumstances, we can control our mindset, our perspective, our attitude in life. Which means we may find ourselves in quarantine, confined to our homes, but in our minds we can be free. We can find ourselves in a whole host of difficult challenges and difficulties in our life. With the proper perspective, proper mindset, we can begin to set ourselves free. So what is the key to freedom? It's one word. That's the word I want to share with you today: gratitude. When we take the time to be present, to appreciate the gifts that we have right now, not what we hope to get, we set ourselves free. You know, it's almost impossible to imagine a Pesach Seder without the singing of the song Dayenu. Dai Dayenu, Dai Dayenu. At a Passover Seder, you can find children and adults singing and humming this addictive tune of Dayenu. Dayenu is central. It's a centerpiece of the Haggadah and the highlight of the Seder experience. The tune is very, very catchy, right? But if you think about it, the words and the theme are very bizarre. It's enigmatic, it's puzzling. And let me give you two examples. One, we say in the Passover song, Dayenu, if God would have taken us out of Egypt, but wouldn't have split the sea for us, it would have been enough. The question's asked, really? Would it have been enough to take us out of Egypt? Then we would have drowned in the sea. How would it have benefited us? Why would it have been enough? Why do we say Dayenu? I'll give you one more example. We say, if God would have taken us in the desert and wouldn't have given us the manna, the food, it would have been enough. Why would it have been enough? We wouldn't have had food to eat. So an answer is given that in order to appreciate this beautiful song of Dayenu, you have to look at all the 15 stanzas, what they have in common. Why were these events and experiences chosen? And the answer is because every stanza of Dayenu corresponds to an incredibly gracious act that God did for us and our absolute ungrateful response. God took us out of Egypt after 210 years of persecution, pain, suffering. God takes us out of Egypt. We're in the desert, and we turn to God and we say to God, we know why you took us out of Egypt. Because you wanted to destroy us in the desert. We didn't turn to God and say, thank you, Hashem, Toda Rabbah. Instead, we kvetched, we complained, we took it for granted. Likewise, when we were in the desert, and God gave us this amazing manna from heaven, instead of thanking God, we turned to God and we said, God, couldn't you have given us a knish? A good piece of kugel, some lax, some delicacy. We took it for granted. And so, this Dayenu song is actually an exercise that each and every one of us needs to eternalize in our lives. Dayenu, as we reflect on our national history, and we go back, we look back at our lives, we identify those moments for the incredibly lack of gratitude we exhibited in the past, and we repair them. And I think this is a very powerful lesson to the situation and the circumstance we find ourselves in now. As I'm talking, I'm thinking about the incredible gifts, perhaps in the past, that we were given by God, and yet we weren't thankful. We didn't take them for granted. I'm thinking about a simple warm handshake, a hug, or a carefree trip to a grocery store. We're thanking God for the ability to come together as a community every Shabbos during the week for activities, for programs, seeing the beautiful preschool children come here. We had so much incredible blessings, yet we have possibly not taken them for granted. And so I challenge each and every one of us to compose your own personal Dayenu song. I'll share with you what I'm thinking right now. My Dayenu song. But I'd like to hear yours as well. Even if we had Shabbos services at the world-famous Chabad of Naples, and we didn't have the Kiddush luncheon, Dayenu. Even if we had the Kiddush luncheon, and we didn't have cholent and lax, Dayenu. And so, Pesach comes, it's a time to set ourselves free. To thank Hashem for what we have at this very moment, the gifts that we have, the life, we're able to breathe, we're able to have family to call and to FaceTime, to connect with our community, and also to look back and identify those moments and to thank those incredible people who made such a difference in our lives. And we didn't say thank you yet. Until now, I've talked to you about Dayenu, about the incredible blessings that were sufficient and that we didn't say thank you. We took them for granted. And now I turn to Hashem and I say, Dayenu. God, enough. Dear God, Dayenu. We know you can give freely with an open hand. You show us your kindness and love in so many ways. You have given us enough blessings. But God, you've also given us enough pain and suffering. So God, we ask of you today, please protect the men and women in uniform in America and Israel and around the world. Please send nachas from our sons and daughters. Please give all those who are searching for a soulmate, please give them their bashert. And all those who are seeking children, please bless them with children. And Hashem, we ask you today, please send a complete healing, a refuah shlema, a complete and speedy recovery to all those who need it and all those who are contracted this virus. Send them a refuah shlema, a complete and speedy recovery now. Please send blessings to those incredible angels who are fighting on the front lines to battle this virus. And Avinu Malkeinu, Menah Magefa Menach Lasecha, our Father in heaven, please remove this virus from our midst. Master of the universe, you are called the eternal guardian who neither slumbers nor sleeps. But we are tired of pain and suffering of others. Hashem, our sweet Father in heaven, can't you look at all the beautiful mitzvahs, the time spent with loved ones in billions of homes over these last few weeks, in the merit of our spiritual good deeds? Bring us revealed blessings in our life and send a complete healing and remove the tears from every face and usher in an era of peace and prosperity to our world. Dayenu. Please join in. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu. Asei Imanu Tzedakah V'Chesed. Dear God, deal charitably and act kindly with us and bring us salvation. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim. Asei imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed. Asei imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshiyenu. Feels a little sad to stand in this wide, empty, open room, hearing my echo because it's not filled with your voices. So let's say a prayer together, a prayer that has sustained us for thousands of years, a prayer of Shema Yisrael to bring an end, enough of the suffering and pain. Please join in. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'yahavta es Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'yu advarim ha'ele sh'anochi mitzavecha yoim ha'levavecha shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Shiftecha b'veisecha v'lechtecha v'aderecha v'shachvecha kumecha Shatam li'yais hayadecha v'yulatay tafais b'neinecha Satam ha'mezuzos v'eisecha u'visharecha. We love you all. Thank you for joining the Chabad of Naples. A good Shabbos to each and every one of you.